Man learns his behavior and uses his intelligence, whereas animals simply act on instinct. This idea has an element of truth, but reality is far more complex. Moving from insects to reptiles to mammals, the importance of learned, as opposed to genetically determined behavior, gradually increases. An instinct involves not only the impulse to do something, but also specific instructions on how to do it. Birds have an instinct to build nests. Man's genetic code does not contain specific instructions on how to behave in a particular way. A newborn baby is born helpless, dependent on older members of the species, and lacks necessary behavior patterns. It relies on biological drives like hunger and the charity of older members to satisfy those drives. In order to survive, it must learn the skills, knowledge, and accepted ways of behaving of its society. It must learn a way of life. It must learn the culture of its society. The culture of the society is the way of life of its members, the collection of ideas and habits which they learn, share, and transmit from generation to generation. Culture is a design for living held by members of a particular society. Since a man has no instincts to direct his actions, his behavior must be based on guidelines which are learned. In order for a society to operate effectively, these guidelines must be shared by its members. Without culture, the society would be unable to communicate and cooperate, and confusion and disorder would result. Culture therefore has two essential qualities. Firstly, it is learned. Secondly, it is shared. Without it, there would be no human society. Culture defines accepted ways of behaving for members of a particular society. Such definitions vary from society to society. This can lead to considerable misunderstanding between members of different societies. Amongst the Sioux Indians of South Dakota, it is regarded boastful to answer a question in the presence of others who do not know the answer. Such behavior would be regarded as boastful. Faced with a classroom of Sioux children, a white American teacher, who is unaware of their culture, might easily interpret their behavior as a reflection of ignorance, stupidity, or hostility. Some of the customs of different societies might appear strange and even heartless to the outside world, but in the context of the particular society, they are sensible, rational, and an accepted part of life. The process by which individuals learn the culture of their society is known as socialization. The first step starts at infancy, when the child starts to imitate the parents. Then it interacts with his peer groups, and then his teacher, and then with various social groups, grows up and interacts with his occupational group, and this process continues a lifetime. Without socialization, an individual would bear little resemblance to any human being defined as normal by the standards of his society. For Eji, 2 children were found in a wolf cave in Bengal, and they walked on all 4 and behaved like wolves. Such examples indicate that socialization involving prolonged interaction with adults is essential not only for fitting new members into society, but also to the process of actually becoming human. Every culture contains a large number of guidelines which direct conduct in particular situations. Norms are enforced by positive and negative sanctions, that is, rewards and punishments. Sanctions can be informal, such as an approving or a disapproving glance, or formal, such as a fine or a reward given by an official body. The sanctions which enforce norms are a major part of the mechanisms of social control which are concerned with maintaining order in society. Since man has no instincts with instructions, his behavior must be guided and regulated by norms. Unless norms are shared, members of society would be unable to cooperate or even comprehend the behavior of others. Social roles regulate and organize behavior. Roles provide social life with order and predictability. Next time you imagine a doctor, question yourself, why do you expect calmness on his face? We dive deeper into this in the upcoming videos of the series. Stay tuned and subscribe. Thank you for watching.